Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Gender Equality. Gender equality is achieved when women and men enjoy the same rights, opportunities across all sectors of the society, including economic participation and decision making. I am your host, Omotode Dolabumi, and joining me on today's show is my lovely co-host. Before we get to tell you the topic of discussion on today's show, you can join in on the conversation on TikTok, Instagram at CTV Life 1, and on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at CTV Life. Before I get to tell you our discussion, the topic of discussion today, let's go on a quick break. Welcome back. In case you're joining me for the first time, I'm your host, Omotude Dolabomi, and with me on the show today is
Damilola Adetoko.
So on today's show, we have a very keen topic of discussion, which is how parenting affects gender equality. You can let us know by dropping your opinions in our comment section across all our social media handles or calling via our WhatsApp line. So, Dami, today we have a topic of discussion which is very interesting to talk about because I feel that if we don't discuss the main issue of gender equality, it's not as if it's the main issue, but it's affected. So, it contributes to a lot to the gender equality roles in the society. So, I believe parents, when it comes to distributing the roles in the house, I believe parents have a lot to play on the whole gender equality, right? Because from there, that's where we learn our first hand learning. That's why we get to know a lot of things. Where you get to know, oh, the woman is supposed to take care of the house. She's supposed to know how to cook. While the man gets to know that, oh, the kitchen is not meant for me. The woman is supposed to be beneath me. So I believe that parents should both join forces to train their kids, whereby the male child knows, regardless of the chores or the duties in the home, I should participate. It's not meant for the woman alone. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think roles and should be balanced in the home, both the male child and the girl child. They have both responsibilities to do whatever needs to be done in the house, and it shouldn't just be to one particular gender. I
Yes.
feel the reason why we are where we are today is because
They splitted the roles
yes,
from the
but
home.
from the home, the parent they be like, oh,
And he has
uh,
seen his father sit in front of TV
aside
watching.
aside that, be like,
Because
oh, probably the father has a car. Oh, the male
yeah,
child,
you
you be the
wash
one
the
washing the
car,
car.
while the
The
female
female
child is inside
child
helping out
have
with the
to be in
mother,
the
kitchen,
kitchen,
helping out with the
helping
mother
out with the mom.
and
And
all.
I can remember while we were young, there is this song we sing, "Mommy in the kitchen
Cooking
cooking
rice,
rice,
quack, quack, quack.
Daddy in the like." We were just
Yeah,
singing
we're
it
just
then.
singing it and not knowing it
But
had a
we
lot of
really
meaning.
don't know it had a lot of meaning then. Like daddy in the parlor watching film
Football.
while
Mommy's
mommy
in the kitchen cooking
is in
rice.
the
It's
kitchen
showing that the roles have been split already.
cooking rice. So it means the kitchen is for the women, like
Yes.
the song.
And parlor and football watching is for
And
the men.
yes, which should not always be like that.
I think parents, for me, I think parents should always make sure that what the female child is doing, let the male child also do it. If the
Exactly,
female child
exactly.
is washing plates, let the male child know that, okay, either the female watches
Because
it in the morning,
there will actually be a time when the male child
will be
now
alone.
will be a bachelor
Yes, and
or probably be in the uni
yeah, living
and you have
alone.
to live alone. So when it gets to that time, would you
Expect to
expect
cook for him,
to
to
cook
wash his clothes,
and to do
other
other
house chores for
house
him.
chores for him? So that way he's lacking in some things, and probably when the male child have a girlfriend, I'll be like, oh, it is
Yeah, the
the
right of my girlfriend to cook for
duty
me,
of
to
my
wash
girlfriend
clothes,
to do all of these things, which shouldn't be. Because if the parents had actually taught him how to
do those
do
stuffs.
those stuff, like
You
to
would not
cook, to
expect his
wash,
girlfriend to come.
you won't expect someone else to do what you're meant to do for you. So I feel the parent have like a
And
very
huge
very
responsibility to play.
huge responsibility and a large role to why we're here today.
Yeah, that's the reason why we're here today. Because if parents have kept more effort in training both kids equally,
Yes.
men will not believe that women are supposed to be beneath them.
Yes, exactly.
Likewise, with women, not think that
Well,
we're trying to, they are trying to they're trying to place us in a way that we cannot show
well,
ourselves
in most cases, it's the parent might actually not see it that
that way.
way.
But it's
Like,
because that was how they were brought up,
yes,
and they'll pass it down to
they
their
might
kids.
actually not see it that way. Like, oh, they are trying to make the female child beneath the male child. They'll just be like, oh, um, we have a lot of things to do in the house. We want to share the
This
duties.
is
Like, these are things
the male child
the
should do,
male
and
child should
these are
do.
things the female child
Because
should
if
do.
you look at it very well, you will know that there are some things the male child do in the house that you would never see
Yeah,
the
female child. Yeah,
female.
like washing of cars.
Yes, apart from washing of cars, like general cleaning now,
Yeah,
cleaning
cleaning
of
of the ceilings and
and
all.
everything.
You
They
hardly see the.
expect they
They
expect the
said the male
male
child should
child
take the
to
responsibility of
take
that.
the responsibility of all of that, while the female child will
Be in the
just
kitchen.
be
She might be in the kitchen doing something else.
doing something else. And I don't we can't actually blame them to say to them they feel it's
It's
just
normal.
sharing of role,
Rules, yeah. They
but they
feel
don't
that
know it actually play a major
responsibility later on.
part in
Their
the
personality
society
later
later,
on.
because they get to they get
Mhm.
to the children now gets to leave their parents at the long run. You definitely leave, you can't stay with them forever. And now that probably staying alone, or is in a relationship, or is actually married now, you will have this superiority complex, like, oh, that's when you see some cases they'll be like, my mom, she's the one I used to do this, she's the one I used to do that. So we've made it normal, and I think it is because of our culture and our tradition here. I'm talking about here in Nigeria. It also play a major role. So I don't think I would want to 100% blame the parent, because it was passed to them. They're also passing it to their children, and it is very likely those children will also pass it to their children, and that is where we feel gender equality needs to come in, so it doesn't go further, because it will start from home. From home, it will get to place of work, to get to other aspect of the society. So I feel we should do better in that regard.
Parents should do better. Do Do you think parents should allow their children do the chores in the house like equally, whereby as a female child, I should cook, and the same way I have with my brother in the house, cook on different days. It should not be based on only me doing the cooking, because most times we tend to say, "Oh, the kitchen area is meant for the women." You don't see me ever say, "Oh, I'm going inside the kitchen to cook for my entire house." You always see the women say, "Oh, I'm going home." Like now, most times I rush home to say, "Oh, I want to cook for my younger brothers. I want to cook for my siblings." But there are sometimes in some families, you see their male kids take up the responsibility, whereby they don't have a female child. Won't they eat?
Yes, they have to eat.
But if they had a female child, it might be changed. The female child will have to do the one of the cooking. They will teach her very early how to cook. They teach her very early how to go about everything in the kitchen. But and there are some male kids that believe that, okay, I know how to cook doesn't mean I should assist.
I feel that's where laziness comes in, because
I agree.
I'll just be like, you know how to do this thing, and you want to kill someone. Like, this person has actually been doing this thing all along, and you don't want to help out. I feel either laziness, or you're trying to be heartless, because if you know how to do something, then why don't you just do it? When you feel, oh, this person has been doing this thing a lot, then let me also come in now and do it. Now I'm talking about people in marriage, or in a relationship, kind of. So I I won't, like I said, all blames shouldn't go
No, it shouldn't go because it was
to the
passed on to them.
parents. Yes. So, and we should also try in our new generation
Generation two.
not to pass it
I
across
agree.
to the next generation, so we don't have to still keep discussing
The same
about this. And there is one
issues.
particular man that said his wife that our job is
Kitchen.
in the kitchen, and that is the person we kind of all look forward, like look up to, like we see as a elder. And if that kind of a person can be saying something like that, what do you think we, the people looking up to
To
him,
him,
they'll be like, oh, for this person to say this thing, then definitely, it is the duty
see
of
of the
the
woman to be in the
woman
kitchen.
to be in the kitchen.
And when we were growing up, if you remember, they tell females that regardless of all the certificates you can gather,
You still end up in the
in the
kitchen.
kitchen. And that word
Yes.
always gets to me because I'm like, if I go to school and read as much as a male child and try and make a living for myself, do I still need to end up in the kitchen?
We have some families where they'll be like, oh, probably they are not really doing well, and they have probably four children, two male child and two female child, and they don't really have much money like that. They would rather prefer to send the male
Child, they
child
do
or the
that to
male
me.
children to school rather than the female one, because
And
they
they sell,
feel,
and most times they give the female child out in marriage
exactly, they feel, oh, you still end up
in a man's
in
house.
a man's house, like this is the person we are going to look up to in the family, the male child. And at the end of the day, it might actually be the female child that will actually excel in
Aspect.
all of in all of the children. Might be the female child that will be doing great.
Very well.
We have great examples. We have Dr. Mrs. Okonjo Iweala. If
Yes.
the parents
Had not
then
sent her
had
to
said,
school.
I not sent her to school, I'd be like, oh, she belongs in the kitchen, or
She won't be where she is
she
right
won't be
now.
where she's, like a whole lot. We currently have a female president in the world right now.
Yes, that's
Like
true.
even um,
Where you think?
Mami Kuti.
Oh,
Yes. So those are women of great influence, that we should
all look up to.
all look up to.
Because if
They
their
are doing
parents
great.
have not
If
allowed them to
exactly
pursue their future ambitions, I don't think they'll be where
they'll
they
be
are.
where they are,
Maybe they'll
and
be somewhere in the man's
they
house.
won't even be in history.
Yes, we won't know them.
Yes. So I
So I believe
feel
parents should
we should do more.
they should train their kids in a way that they help each other,
Definitely.
they support each other, not that one is beneath one another and one is higher. Because we all know that men have this ego, whereby they know that women are meant to be in this particular aspect. Even at workplace, you see someone telling you, oh, the contract should not be passed down to a woman because she is a woman. You can do it better. But I believe in a workplace, give it to the person that knows how to do the job the best. Whether be it a female, be it a male, they should both
Well,
fight for
I
the
also believe the
contract.
best and
Yes.
should do the job, because you have probably a male and a female applying for the same contract, and you hardly see a female contending with a male in our society for contract.
Yes.
Whether engineering, you hardly
You even
see,
hardly see females in engineering
you
courses
hardly, yes, exactly. They feel like, oh, engineering courses are
for the
meant
male, from the male.
for the males
When I
alone.
was in school, I remember the first class overall in my school, the best graduating student rather in my school was an engineering student, and she was a female.
But how many can you
Even in their department, I think there were only two at the
two
midst of
females?
50. Imagine 50 guys in the class, and you're the only.
While I was in school to geophysics, I think they are only three female, while they
Wow.
have all
Because
males.
we brought us to believe that those are the works of
Like
a male
for male,
child.
yes.
We females should go for the other ones.
I think we
So
should
we have
take
comments.
comments.
Hello, my name is Charles from Victoria Island. Parenting affects gender equality so much. You find some parents not allowing their female child to go to school because they think it is pointless to send a girl child to school. Some parents have certain rules, like not allowing their female child cook, which is a life skill, by the way, and others like that, which does not make sense to me. We can all do better as a society. This is really
Like
nice. She said everything.
everything.
Because if you don't send your female child to school. And she ends up being great in all aspects of life. You will also sit down and
You
tell
want to
people
give
and tell and
money,
say,
oh,
"Oh,
this and
that's my
that, yeah.
child," and you'll be proud to say that statement of, "Oh, that's my child," because you didn't send her to school. You didn't let her fulfill all life adventures. So I feel that parents should do more better in sending both their male and female child to school.
Let me also take one comment here. Hi guys, my name is Tola from Egbeda. I am enjoying the show. On this cooking table here, it might be trivial, but it is important. Parenting for me affects gender equality so much. So I will blame the parents. So you can't say because that was how your parents raised you that you will do the same exact same thing to your children. The goal is to be better than our parents.
Yes, that's true.
You
Because
know,
growing up,
Tola, you're very
we
right.
all had this parent in our mind. We all knew that African mothers are not to be played with. They
Yes.
would spank you, scream at you, and all sorts. And looking at all those things they did to us, some kids have low self-esteem because of those. Because whereby you're in a home where you cannot see your mind, you cannot open up and say, "Oh, mom, this is what and what I'm going through." So if it is that same way we keep doing of how they were brought up, is how they will train us, you're still going to have issues in the
Well,
society.
I well, Tola is actually right.
It's
You
right.
can't put all the no, you like you can do better than your parents,
Parents,
right?
yes, the aim is to do better.
But you should know that you actually still won't blame them, and I'll give you
For reasons.
this reason. And this is even religion, tradition, and everything gives men like male child upper edge against the
Yes.
against the female child. And we know our parents to be all these religious people,
People,
like they want to go to
church,
church or they
mosques.
want to go to mosque, whatever the imam or the pastor tells them, like they believe, and even what they read tells them that okay, this is how
It is
it
supposed
should
to be.
be. For instance, in a mosque, you will never see a female leading the prayer,
I don't think
or
so.
you would never see. It does not happen.
Happen.
It does not happen. In the church, some churches, you would never see a female enter into the altar. Even to preach, you would never
I
see
see
females
females.
preaching. They would be like their mommy Gio, like
Yes,
yeah,
the
like
pastor's wife.
there are some churches like that. That we have other churches that uh, women are actually the head.
And most times when you look at those churches where women are the head, most of their members are all only women.
Not
You
not
hardly
not
see
really.
you hardly see a man with his wife and enter a woman's church and sit down because of that so-called women are not supposed to head the church. You
It is actually you can't blame them, and you can't blame the people following the religion because
just how it was written down.
that is how it was written. Even
Yeah.
Jesus Christ doesn't have a female disciple,
Yes.
so I think by then, if people come out to like gender equality, oh, we want female in the disciples of listen. If you don't have any female, we are not going to
Follow you
believe you
and
or
you
follow
follow
you,
you.
or something like that. So it is from way back
That how they started.
that it has started. We are only just trying to make corrections to all of these things so it won't keep happening and we'll have more women doing great and mighty things in our society. Because if the parents have derailed them right from kids, right from when they were small. When they grow up with that
Same
same knowledge
mentality.
and same mentality. For the male child, oh, you're not supposed to be in the kitchen. You have female siblings that the one who was supposed to be in the kitchen. When that child grow up, they'll be like, oh, when I was still with my mom, it's my mom that used to cook,
And
or my sisters, that all of them know how to cook. Probably met someone who doesn't really know how, a female who doesn't really know how to cook for one reason or the other because as we have male child that don't know how to cook, We also
So
have
are female
female
kids that don't know
kids
how to
that doesn't know how to cook.
and most cases of those female kids are whereby they have helps in the house.
Exactly, and at the end of the day,
They
you don't know how to cook. You are set to marry. You end up marrying
someone that also
someone that
doesn't know
doesn't know
how
how to
to
cook.
cook.
So
How do
what
you
are you
guys
going
cook?
to be eating? What are the kids going to be
They'll be eating
eating?
takeout. Or they will collect and help too. The
So
same
I
way their
think
parents did.
I have another comment here. Hi guys, I am Daniel from Songo. Some parents train their girls and leave their boys to raise themselves, which is not correct at all. Our society is made up of families, so if we get it wrong from the family, we are in serious trouble. That's why some parents have curfew for their girls but not their boys, and they get away with ridiculous behavior, and then they say boys will always be
The
boys.
boys.
This has to be stopped.
It honestly has to be stopped.
Honestly, I wish I can see this person right
And
now,
give him an handshake.
either an handshake,
He deserves it.
because true, we have. When I was in secondary school, I am kind of free to go out, though I don't have female siblings, but I have friends, like female friends in school, that you dare not go out. You
Even
dare
me.
not go to their house as a guy.
Yes, for me
Okay,
too.
and let me tell you this little
Story.
story. I went to see one of my friends. I and one of my other friends, Emil, went to see this girl in her house. Then we knocked. The house is very big. It was the father that came to open the door. Like, what are you looking for? We said we are looking for so person. Who are you to my? But we are friend. What do you want? We want to collect notebook. We're not going to collect any notebook, but
But the fear.
we had to lie. This is how this man protect this child. And this same man has a son. He's free to do whatever he likes, whenever he likes. He can go out and come back whenever
Ever he likes.
he likes. You did not train him. Now he becomes wayward. Then the female that you have trained is doing well. You blame the male child that, oh, it's because it's a male
No,
child.
I think for that training the female child, like men should not see you because of
No,
how the society is.
no,
They believe that you male kids,
that's a lie.
you guys, male kids are fond of, oh, coming to your house, playing. Even the father
That's
knows
a
what he
lie.
had done in his childhood days. So
That
I feel that's why he's protecting his female
no,
child.
that is a
If
lie.
you don't trim your female child,
I don't want to believe that. There's no how you protect your child,
yes,
like the female. At some point,
in time.
at some point, they will leave you either to go to school, and when they are in school, you don't know whatever they are doing. I feel the right thing to do is just try and talk to your children, try to advise.
Both
I think that
genders, both
both,
gender, the
not just the
female child.
female, advise the both. Oh, uh, no different guys you come, but you should know what you're doing. Like different kind of advice you can give to your children that will make them better people in the future. But you covering you don't want this child to go to school, and someone that has not tasted freedom before,
Will be free.
now seeing freedom, I'm telling you, the child will even do
Worse
worse
than the male child.
than what than another child that is free to do what, but just try to caution and try to advise. So that way, I feel it is very wrong to always try and protect just the
Female child.
female and leave the male to you're a man. You are free to do whatever you like. You are free. Nothing can happen to you, but it is a female that something
So
can
going
happen
back to
to.
this comment, when I was growing up, I had a cousin, and I dare not come into my house. Whether when I was in school, even if I come home, I dare not go back to my house 8 o'clock. By 7:30, I should be at my gate knocking, or I should be inside my room already. Because that was the rule laid down. Even for my brothers. My brothers when were just extended by 30 minutes. They could come home by 8, but had to be in the house by 7:30.
So, which school did you attend?
I entered Wara State University.
Kwara State University. Did they follow you to
No
school?
one followed me to school.
Were you able to do whatever you want to
I was
do or
free.
not?
Even in school, sometimes I decide to come home anytime I want.
That
But the fear of, oh, the kind of upbringing I had from home would
mhm,
not make me do certain things.
yes,
There's some certain things I
that is
want to
there.
do, and I think of it and like, if my mother should find that, an African mother for that matter. My mom will even come. Sometimes she'll just show up at my door without calling you, without telling you I'm coming. And when she's there, if you're not there, she has evidence. She'll take her phone, snap the pictures of the room, and she's calling you on the phone, asking you, "Where are you?" I say, "I'm at hostel," and she'll be like, "Yeah, you're hostel, really? All right, I'm waiting for you." At that point, I know that
But you know,
I'm in for
not
it.
all parents follow
Yeah,
up.
not all
Not all
parents
parents
follow
follow
up.
up like
I have
that.
a friend that she finished from 100 to 400 level. Her mom didn't know where she was staying.
Same as me.
Sometimes she doesn't even go home in the holidays for holidays. She says, "Oh, we're not on holiday," and her mom says, "Okay." Those are how different
Well,
our parents can be.
doesn't make that child a bad
That's
child
what
to
I'm
live in
saying. It
the
doesn't
bad
make you a
school.
bad child, but the way you're saying follow up, most parents don't have time. Most
Yes,
parents
most
are
parents
working
don't.
8 to 9. Imagine. And yes, when they come back at night, they're calling you, okay, you're fine. And my school was far. If your parents are staying in Lagos, it's not that easy for them to jump on the bus or drive down to Ilorin. It's not that easy. So that's why
Okay.
I believe that when it comes to training your kids, both parents should sit down, join forces to talk to them. Not that you talk to the female child separate, you talk to the male child separate. And my grandma then will say, "Oh, when you get pregnant, it's you that will suffer it the most because you have to stop school, you have to stop this." And the male child will be
Well,
out there flexing
do
his
you know
life.
not just the female child go through all of these things you're talking about? The male, not just the female child, the male child, they believe, oh, and they are the one to do the hard jobs, like everything hard, like the female, like you have some females, girls that be like they want to relax and be taken care of, like they don't want to work, they just want someone to take care of all their expenses,
For
to
them,
exactly. And we have things that, oh, the male child, anything hard, anything difficult, you are the one to do it. Like washing of car is actually not easy now.
no,
So
it's
they
not.
believe,
I tried it once and I was like,
so they believe in,
because I trying.
strength as well. I feel the parents also believe, oh, the male child have more strength than the female child, so the female child cannot do some certain things, while the male child have enough strength to do all of these things. So
So I have a comment here. It says, "Hello guys, my name is Moshood from Iyaba. Being a male child in an African home comes with its perks, especially if it's the firstborn. Most times, it is not about the father stopping himself from doing the house chores. The mothers too can be funny. I've seen cases whereby the mother will be the one pushing her son out of the kitchen as she believes it is her and her daughter's duties. This also transcends to the father as well, who would not even want to interfere or rather have his son do other things than feminine duties."
that's very true. Some mothers be like, oh, they only want their female child in the kitchen. Probably the father might not even say anything, like it is none of his own business.
As far as food is coming to his
As far
table.
as food is coming to his table, and there's someone be like, oh, my mom doesn't want me to cook, and at the end of the day, the child wouldn't know how to cook, and you expect that same person to grow and not have this superiority complex over a female, that if my mom can allow only my sister to enter the kitchen and not
Me.
myself, then you should also know how to cook. But we did not come out from the same house or the same home. We come from different homes, so what you're being taught is quite different
From
from
what I'm being
what
told.
I'm being taught. Personally, as a male child, I know how to cook. I know there's nothing you want in this life that I cannot do for myself. At times, I'll be lazy, probably because I see someone doing it for me. I might be lazy, but when it comes to me doing it, I know how to do my thing.
So we have one more comment before we round up. My name is Cynthia from Ikeja. Parenting affects gender equality so much. In some homes, we have parents who don't allow their male child cry And then those boys grew up to be men who can't control, who can't handle their emotions, and will rather express their feelings.
Let me read this comment before we go.
Randall.
Hello guys, this is Esther from Idimo. My senior brother cannot cook noodles. Talk less of a standard meal, and he was never allowed to enter the kitchen other than to drop his dishes. A couple of months ago, his wife passed away and left him with his
Oh,
two
that's so bad.
kids, and I can tell you for a fact that he has he's been he's been buying them take out, and it's not been easy on his pocket because you know how much you'll be spending on
It's not
to
that
get food
easy.
out. He's told me severally, amidst tears mostly, that he regrets not knowing how to take care of his own, and now he realized that there is more to catering for your family than money. I do my duties as a sister by helping him out as much as I can, but I'm in school and it's hard for both of us. We all should do better as parents, honestly.
Please send our condolences to your brother. But honestly, I
Well,
don't know what to say.
we don't pray for such
Such
to happen to
family
any of
ones.
our loved ones. But if you're doing something, at least at the same time, you consider what you don't want to consider,
Yes.
because in a case like this you would never ever believe it, or
Like
you never want it to happen,
you won't even
but
think of it.
but different things happen, and you just have to take it
And
as
if
it
he could
comes.
rewind time,
You
he'll
would
be able to rewind the time back where he
I
will
won't I
follow
won't be
his
I
mom
won't be
to the
surprised
kitchen.
if the brother actually go back to learn how to cook
Yes,
now,
because how does he cater for the kids?
rather use
Or he,
YouTube. You can watch how to cook on
because even
YouTube.
to collect helps these days are quite expensive for you to
And
maintain it.
we are just talking about cooking. There are other things
Yes,
in the house
there's more
that
than cooking,
that is more than cooking.
like cleaning the
Cleaning,
house. There
so
are
many things.
lots.
So please, if you're watching us right now, let us try and do better
Are training our
in training
kids
our kids, both the male child
and
and
the
the
female
female
child.
child. Let there be a kind of equality, a balance in the home. So when they grow up, they take from it, and it doesn't affect them later in future. We are currently watching CTV, and you can do it to follow us on all our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube,
I see.
TikTok, wherever we are there. You can subscribe to our
It's
YouTube
a channel
channel,
at CTV
CTV
Life.
Live. We are there.
Thank you for joining us on today's show. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did.
Yeah.
Until next time, I remain your host, Omotunde Dolabumi.
And your co-host, Damlola Adetokun.
Bye for now.